Welcome back to Analytical Strategy. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and that is doing a BrantSteele survivor simulation of my Dreamcast, which I have talked about in a previous video. It will be linked at the end of this video if you want to check out detail into why I chose each of these players, but in short, it is an international version of Survivor, with an American tribe versus an Australian tribe. I'm going to be using the Survivor Cambodia Second Chance template within this BrantSteele. But in short, I chose this because I think it would be an absolutely phenomenal edition of Survivor that I don't think has the capability of occurring in the future. I think an international version would be absolutely amazing. And as an Australian citizen that is a huge fan of both US and Australian Survivor, I think this would be absolutely phenomenal. And given I don't think this will happen in the future, let's do it in a simulation. Let's see how it plays out. So we have the American tribe of Amanda, Chris Doherty, Sari Fields, Earl Cole, Kim Spradlin, Rob Sestonino, Sophie Clark, Todd Herzog, Tony Vlachos, and Vesepia Tauri versus the Australian tribe of Benji Wilson, Brooke Giowette, David Gennett, Harry Hills, Jericho Malabonga, Luke Toki, Moana Hope, Pia Miranda, Sean Coombs, and Shawnee Fairfax. So let's get into it. Without further ado, we're moving on to the Marooning, the reward challenge within episode 1. Okay, so the American tribe, they win this Marooning, they gather all the supplies and they get that bag of rice quicker than the Australian tribe. So American tribe takes out the first reward, and they probably have done this many more times than the Australian tribe, given there is a lot more seasons of the show. So there is no surprises that they do win that extra bag of rice within the Marooning of the reward challenge of episode 1. Now, let's get into the alliances, the interesting part of this first episode. Interesting. So we have Earl, Kim, and Tony all together. 3 winners, 3 people I would love to see play the game together all at once. So Tony and Kim, to me, are probably the 2 best players in Survivor history. So seeing them join forces would be absolutely phenomenal. Having Earl in there as well, as he didn't get the chance on Winners at War, seeing all these 3 together would be amazing. And that's probably something that does join these 3 together, is that they are all winners. So it is surprising not to see someone like Sophie in there as well. But these 3 are probably the biggest 3 threats in this tribe. And then there is another alliance with Amanda, Chris, Rob, and Vesepia. So I really like this alliance as well. Super loyal. It looks like Tony and Earl are a little bit more loyal than Kim in this alliance. But I think seeing Rob Sestonino and Chris Doherty join forces would be amazing TV. Not only are they 2 amazing players, they are fantastic characters. So those 2 combined with Amanda and Vesepia, you love to see it. Then in the Australian tribe, we have Benji, David, Moana, and Sean. I do love this alliance as well. It is looking like it is dominated a little bit with Harry, Jericho, Luke, Pia, and Shawnee all in an alliance. So there is some flashbacks on previous seasons here with all-stars of David, Mo, and Sean all getting it very far to the final 3, with David and Sean getting to the end and David taking out the win. So Benji and Dave together I think would be phenomenal. I think Mo is fantastic. Sean is great. She is able to get out of sticky situations. So this 4 together is amazing. Obviously, we got Luke and Jericho back in forces together as they were in their initial alliance, the cheeky rascals. Speaking of cheeky rascals, we got Shawnee and Harry together as well. So those 4, there's going to be chaos, and Pia is an absolutely phenomenal player, super underrated in Australian Survivor, taking out the win in her first and only time playing. So I think it'll be great to see her combined with these 4 cheeky players in this Australian tribe. So let's see the first immunity challenge. Who do we think is going to win it? I think it is the Quest by Fire within this season. So it would have to give America the slight advantage, but Australia takes it out. So they win a fire making kit in this Quest for Fire challenge as well, with the Australian tribe taking out the win, which means a member of the American tribe is going to be the first person voted out of Survivor International, Australia versus America. So tribe events. Tony's found the idol. Of course he's found the idol. It's Tony Vlachos. I mean, the guy lives for idols. He's searching day in, day out. Night in, night out, I should say. He's lighting fires through the night. He's running around the jungle, and he has found the American tribe idol. But that is unsurprising. But what is surprising is Sophie and Rob Sestonino having a major fight. Sophie and Rob. I could never see these 2 fighting. They are 2 of the nicest people in the world. But they have had a major fight apparently on the American tribe. So given they are going to tribal council, we'll see if these two have an impact. So based on the information we obtained, we probably think one of these are in the firing line, but we will wait and see. Has anyone found the idol on the Australian tribe? No, no one's found the idol this round. So we still have that alliance of Harry, Jericho, Luke, Pia, and Shonny, but it is now very weak with the loyalty dropping down to a 3. So it'll be interesting to see if these guys stay together moving forward in the game. Jericho and Luke are obviously huge pairing, so and Shonny and Harry. So it's interesting to see this alliance is weak. So we'll see if they can make it up as the game goes on. But for the moment, they don't have to worry about it because America is going to tribal council. Okay, I see the first votes for Suri, so I don't like the look of that. I'd hate for Suri to go home at this first tribal council. I'd hate for any of these 10 to go home. They are all phenomenal players. Tony did not play the idol. So, Suri? Oh no. 3 for Suri, 1 for Kim. Like, Kim or Suri going home at this first tribal council. This is close to worst case scenario, with them being two of my favorites. Oh no. 3-3. 4-3. Oh no, Kim. 7 votes to Kim, 3 votes to Suri. You hate to see it. I would hate it for either of these two to go home, but Kim, the tribe has spoken with you being the first person eliminated of Survivor International Australia versus America. So you have to think this has to do with Kim, Tony, and Earl all being in an alliance together and them being 3 major threats within this game. Let's see if that is the case. So the 3 votes to Suri, I presume, are Tony, Earl, and Kim, with them being in that alliance earlier. Let's see how each castaway voted. So who voted for Suri? We got Earl, we got Kim, and we got Tony. So Tony and Earl are now on the outs. The 3 big threats in this tribe. But interestingly enough, Rob and Sophie didn't receive a vote, and they voted together. They both voted for Kim. So that is very interesting that that major fight had little to no impact on the vote. And Tony and Earl are now on the outs with Kim being the first person voted out of Survivor Australia versus Survivor America. Next episode, so it is now 9 versus 10 with the Australian tribe having the 1-person advantage. Let's proceed to the alliances and see if anything's changed. So as predicted, Tony and Earl are quite loyal, loyalty of 7, and this alliance as well is looking quite loyal with Amanda, Chris, Rob, and Vesepia. Sophie is nowhere to be seen, so maybe she joined this alliance as they did have the strength in numbers, and they wanted to keep as many numbers as possible prior to a tribe swap occurring. And then the Australian tribe, no real changes here with, again, these 3 plus Benji, as well as Harry. This still has a low loyalty counter of 3 for all of them, so this alliance of 4 is a lot stronger. But this 5 is still together as an alliance, but the strength is quite low still. So to the immunity challenge of Yank Ya Hank. So it looks like it is a heavy crate challenge along with a puzzle at the end, with the American tribe taking it out. So Australia is about to lose their first member of the game, and it will be 9-9 moving forward in the game. America also wins a toolkit and materials to improve their shelter as a reward part of this immunity challenge as well. So what's going on at the American camp? So Tony's obviously got the idol. There's no other idols hidden, so no further action in terms of events happening at this camp. But Moana has found the idol at the Australian camp. So both idols have been found at the initial 2 tribes. Tony with the American idol, Mo with the Australian idol. Very interesting. And then we have a medium strength alliance, again with David, Mo, and Sean, remaining their loyalty from Survivor All-Stars and bringing Benji into the mix as well. So this is only 4. So given this is a medium strength alliance of 4, there was an alliance of 5 as well. It is probably looking like one of these 4 will go home at Tribal Council, unfortunately. So let's see if that is the case. First vote for Benji. No, Mo doesn't play her idol, okay. And she was in that minority. They're targeting Shonny. I would hate to see Shonny go. She is a social powerhouse in this game. 4 to Benji, 2 to Shonny, and 6 votes to Benji, 4 votes to Shonny. Benji is the first person voted out of Survivor Australia. And that is interesting because Benji to me was the biggest snub within the Survivor All Stars. So Pia didn't play in it. I think she might have gotten offered to play in it, but didn't. Luke didn't play in it. He already played twice. So other than those two, Benji I think was the only person within this Australian tribe that didn't play in All Stars. So maybe there was a little bit of bonding between the other tribe members that resulted in Benji being the first to go. Benji to me was my favourite player in his initial season. He was amazing television. So it is again disappointing to see him go with Kim as the first two players. But again, any person that goes in this international Survivor Series, it's terrible to see. You don't want to see anyone go, as they are my favourite players. It is my dream cast, but someone has to go, and that person is Benji. Let's see how each person voted. So I suspect that the votes for Shawnee were Benji, David, Mo, and Shan. Yep, as suspected with the alliances being revealed previously. So in the next episode, it is now 9 versus 9, but we have a twist. We have a twist. So the America tribe is still 9, Australian tribe is 9. It's looking like a tribe swap's about to happen to 666. And that's exactly what's happened. So there is a third tribe now known as the Ostmerica tribe. The Ostmerica is going to a desolate camp with nothing, so they have a huge disadvantage in this game as we have seen in previous seasons. So they're essentially starting the game once more. So within the America tribe, we have Rob, Shan, Sophie, Todd, and wow, so we have 5 US members and only 1 Australian member in Shan Coombs. So 5 versus 1 in that initial America tribe, which probably means the Australia is going to have the advantage in these other 2. So we have Harry, Luke, Shawnee. Yep, so 4 versus 2 in the Australia tribe. And in the Ostmerica tribe, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 2 again, with Brooke, Jericho, Mo, and Pia having the advantage on this tribe. So Australia has the advantage in 2 of the 3 tribes, with Shan being the outsider in the original America tribe with a 5-1 advantage. So again, this is something I touched upon earlier. It'll be very interesting to see how this would actually play out if this season wasn't a simulation and if it occurred in real life, because we see a lot of mixing up in the tribe swaps, but I have a feeling that the Australians would want an Australian to win and the Americans would want an American to win within this type of season. So we'll see if that is the case. We'll see if they stay within their country's lines as we move to the alliances of each tribe. So Tony's lost Earl, Shan has lost Mo and David, and Rob and Vesepia are remaining together. But as we can see here, the 5 Americans are remaining together. They do have a low loyalty count, which is interesting. But it looks like Shan's on the outside of this alliance 5-1. Within the next tribe, so Harry, Luke, and Shawnee remain together with Chris and Dave on the outs. But again, it's a 2-4 alliance breakdown here with the Australian tribe versus the American tribe. And within this third tribe, we have Earl, Mo, Amanda, Jericho, and Pia remain together, but again, they have the low loyalty counter. But as we mentioned previously, it looks like it is a 4-2 split, with the Australians having the advantage over the 2 Americans within this tribe. Let's go to the immunity challenge. So Dragon the Dragon. So we have another obstacle course, finalized by another giant dragon puzzle at the end, and the first 2 tribes to win immunity. And the first is the Australian tribe. So this is one of the tribes where Australia had the advantage, and 2 tribes where Australia had the advantage. So things are looking grim for Shan Coombs in that 5-1 split. So as we know, Tony already has the idol on the American tribe. So there is a very weak alliance within this group of 4 Americans. So that is interesting to see. In the next tribe, again, there is no idol on this camp, and it is already found by Mo. And this group of 4 has a extremely strong bond. So Dave, Harry, Luke, and Shawnee have an extremely strong bond. And again, this may go back to previous seasons with Shawnee and Harry being a part of the cheeky rascals, and Dave and Luke having that extremely strong bond within their initial season, and causing chaos together, which is amazing to see. So I love this Alliance of 4. This Alliance of 4 is so much fun, and it would be amazing to see on TV. And the Ostamerica, has anyone found the new idol? So no. So there is an idol on this camp, but no one has found it, with Mo still having the initial Australian tribe idol. So we're going to tribal, and to be honest, I think things are looking not good for Sian Coombs. I think she is done. So first vote for Todd. Tony doesn't play the idol, and Sophie. Wow. Todd and Sophie are in the firing line. What has Sian done? 3-3. 3 versus 3 split between Todd and Sophie. So these two won't vote at the revote. And everyone votes for Sophie. So Sophie, the tribe has spoken. Wow, I did not expect that. I thought Sian was done. I'm actually in shock. What has happened here? 3-3 split with Sophie and Todd being tied. Again, two previous winners of the show, so maybe these winners are getting targeted early. But they also have Visepia. They also have Tony on this tribe. So you think these four, especially as they are four winners of the show, would join forces and get rid of Sian. It seems like a very obvious move, but let's see how each person voted. So Sian didn't even vote for Todd in the initial. So it's Sian, Todd, and Tony, and they convinced the remaining members to flip on Todd and get rid of Sophie out of the game. And this actually dates back. So Sian, working her magic. So within Survivor All-Stars, Sian was able to tie up the vote, and then she was able to flip the flip members to come to her side, so the votes were on her side, so she didn't have to go to Rock. So maybe she has done it again. Sian Coombs, you are a weapon at staying in the game and proceeding. So it's great to see it. She's never been voted out within Australian Survivor history, and that hasn't changed yet, with Sophie being the third person eliminated from this Survivor International season. So now it's a 5-6-6 split within this fourth episode. So let's go to the alliances, and we can see here that, again, this group of four Americans are staying together somehow, even though they didn't vote that way, with Todd, Tony, and Sian voting one way, and Visepia and Rob voting for Todd. So for some reason they're still in an alliance together. I don't know how, but they've made it happen. Then with the Australian tribe, we still have a 4 versus 2 split here in the first tribe. And then within the Ostamerica tribe, we have a 4 versus 2 split again, with the Australians having the advantage in those two tribes previously mentioned. Within the reward challenge, so first reward challenge since the Marooning. So this is a one member runs the entire challenge. So this is the one where it was Savage versus Jeremy versus Terry, I believe it was. And in this case, it is Sian versus Luke versus Jericho. So on paper, you would think Luke probably has the advantage, given it is a extremely tiring challenge. So we have Sian winning, and we have Jericho winning. So I was completely wrong. Luke, you lost your tribe reward, with Sian and Jericho taking it out and winning reward for their tribes. So we'll see if that affects the immunity challenge. So blind leading the blind, we have the Australian tribe winning immunity. So that is, again, these 4 versus 2 winning the first immunity. And then we have this tribe again winning immunity, with again the 4 versus 2 split. So I hate to say it, but Sian, are you in trouble again? Are you in trouble again? Let's see. So Tony has the idol again. Tony and Rob. Wow, now that is goals. Tony and Rob Sestonino together. That is actual goals. Tony is my favorite player. Rob is my favorite, probably my favorite character. He makes Survivor the Amazon one of my favorite seasons of all time. This is a phenomenal duo that I would love to see go deep in the game. No idol, no events happening on this tribe. And then on this tribe, Mo has the idol. The other idol, Brooke has found the other idol. So Brooke has been known to have found an idol previously. She did play it incorrectly for David when David played that phenomenal move, one of my favorite moves in Survivor history, to get out Daisy. But she has found an idol. So Mo and Brooke, Australian duo, they are finding the idol. So 2 Australians have idols in Brooke and Mo, and Tony has the third. So at tribal, here we go. So Sian, Visepia, Sian. So I don't know what happened from the previous tribal to this one, because Sian was clearly unlucky in her tribe swap being the sole Australian, but she was able to skate through that first tribal council and it looks as though she has tried to get Vecepia out of the game, but the 4 American remaining tribe members have voted her out. So no surprises there. Although she was able to skate through that first tribal council somehow, though 4 Americans decided to stick together and she was voted out of this episode. So we'll skip to the next episode as we know the voting breakdown. And now there is only 4 people left on the American tribe. So 4 left on the American tribe, 6 on the Australian tribe, and 6 on the Ostamerica tribe. So they have a severe disadvantage now. They also don't have that vote of Shan. So maybe that was a reason that they kept her in the game, so they would have an easy vote at a following tribal. But they don't. They only have Americans left in that tribe now. So it'll be interesting to see if they do have to go to tribal again. And it'll be interesting to see that tribe breakdown with Tony and Rob having that bond previously. So they're a strong 4. They are a strong 4. So will that replicate in challenges? Will that replicate as the game goes on? We will see. And then this one is still 4 versus 2. And in this tribe it is still 4 versus 2 as well. So let's proceed to the reward in the barrel. 3 members will be tied together, 4th inside a barrel. Okay, so this is the one where they have to collect the bags and then they roll the balls into the 6 targets to win reward. So the American tribe has 1 reward. So they win rope, tarp, along with comfort items and refreshments, and the Australia tribe wins reward as well. So this group of 4 is started off very well together. They have that strong bond, and so far it has worked well in the challenges for them. When we get to the immunity tribe, they have 1 immunity as well, so the air raid. So each tribe will race up a tower through the obstacles, and then they have to hit their targets to win immunity. So these 2 tribes have won, which means the other tribe is going to tribal council. The Ostamerica tribe on that desolate camp is going to tribal council. So it has affected them to some degree. Let's see how much it has affected them, and let's see who's in the firing line after we analyze the tribe events. So Tony has the idol, and behavior of Todd is running the tribe the wrong way. Very interesting. So Todd is a little sneaky. And there is no Australians left on this tribe as well to pin the blame on. So maybe Todd is starting to get the heat within this tribe. Then we move to the Australian tribe with Chris and Sari having an extremely strong alliance. You'd love to see it. Chris and Sari, again, 2 amazing players, 2 people I would love to see play the game together. The fact Chris hasn't come back to play is borderline illegal. I don't even know how it's possible. So great to see these 2 have a really strong alliance, and hopefully they can go far in the game together. And then this one we have obviously Brooke and Mo having the idols, and then Amanda's starting to rub the tribe the wrong way. Interesting. And then we go to tribal. So if that is the case, Amanda should be on the firing line. So Brooke and Moana have the idols, and neither of them have played their idols within this particular tribal. So Amanda, Mo, Amanda. So that behavior of Amanda rubbing people the wrong way has resulted in her being the person voted out of this particular episode. So I suspect the 2 votes for Mo would have been Earl and Amanda, with the 4 Australians staying strong. So let's see how each castaway voted. Yep, so as suspected, Amanda and Earl attempted to get an Australian out of the game, but that alliance of 4 stayed strong, and Amanda, you are the 5th person voted out of this particular season. So we get down to episode 6, where it is 4 verse 6 verse 5, and let's see if any alliances have changed within this particular episode. So again, this alliance of 4 is staying strong. Todd was annoying people, but he somehow has the highest loyalty. How does that work? Don't ask me, but that alliance of 4 is staying strong. And then we proceed to the Australian tribe, which I suspect is still 4 verse 2, which it is. And then it might be 4 verse 1 on this one. Yep, so the alliance of 4 Australians is still staying strong together, with Earl being on the outside of this alliance. So Earl's in a tough spot, similar to Shan was in the previous tribe. And if they go to tribal, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So we have another reward challenge where Ostamerica and Australia win the reward. So the American tribe lost the reward on that one. And then we go to the immunity challenge where Australia wins and America wins. So that tribe of 5 with Earl. Ooh, so Earl is looking like he's in trouble in this particular episode. Oh no. Earl has just come back. So Tony has the idol. David and Sari start to bond. So Sari and Chris Doherty were strongly bonding, and now David's jumping in. That would be a fun crossover between Australia and America. I want to see some Australian and American alliances crossover. That would be amazing. So David and Sari start to bond. So that three of David, Sari, and Chris Doherty, that would be a fun one. That would be a really fun one. And then let's go to this tribe. So obviously Brooke and Mo still have the idols. Brooke isolates herself. No one wants to align with Brooke. The door might be open for Earl. The door might be open for Earl if Brooke has isolated herself. Wow. That is crazy because they had the numbers. They were good to go. And now what I thought was going to happen is Earl was just going to be voted out. Clear cut, unanimous vote. But it sounds like Brooke has isolated herself, but she does have an idol. So if all votes go to Brooke and she plays her idol, it's whoever she votes for is going. She has not. Oh no, she has. Brooke plays the idol before tribal. This is interesting. So Brooke does not count. Brooke does not count. Brooke does not count. No way. Mo. Oh my god, Mo is voted out with the idol. This is crazy. How did Earl do it? This is nuts. How? Oh my god. How is each castaway voted? So Earl and Brooke. So Brooke must have informed Earl that she had the idol and wanted to get Mo out. Maybe Brooke knew Mo had the idol, and that's why there was a little bit of tension there. So there was a chance that Brooke deliberately isolated herself to draw the votes towards her, to play the idol, to get Mo out of the game with her idol. If so, that is an incredible play, but now 0 idols are left within this tribe. There were 2 prior to this tribal, there are none now. Earl, this is a phenomenal tribal for Earl. He's firstly survived the vote, he's still in the game, but also there's 2 idols out of the game, and there is chaos between the Australian tribe members. So, big up to Earl in this episode. This is crazy. So in the next episode, episode 7, we have a tribe of 4, 2 tribes of 4 and a tribe of 6, and there is another twist. So there are 14 members left in the game. Guessing we're going to go back to 2 tribes of 7. Castaways are randomly assigned to 2 tribes of 7, and we have. Okay, we're back to the America Australian tribe division. So we got Brooke, Chris, Earl, Pia, Rob, Shonny, and Todd. So I'm going to revert back to original lines for this one, as I suspect original lines are probably going to be the main alliances again, given that they want to support their country and get their country the win. So we've got Chris, Earl, Rob, and Todd. So a 4 American, 3 Australian split within this American tribe. And then within the Australian tribe, we have Sari, David, Harry, Jericho, Luke, Tony, and Vesepia. So this one we have 4 Australians, 3 Americans. So fitting with the tribe names, Australia dominates the Australian tribe and America is dominating the American tribe. So let's see if those alliances I predicted have come into fruition. Originally it was Earl and Tony, and then there was Chris and Rob, Pia and Shonny. So there is a lot of different alliances working together that have joined forces within this alliance. And it looks like the new America Tribe Alliance for strength is all of them. All of them are in alliance together, all 7 of them. So that is very interesting. Let's go to the other tribe alliance. And we have a lot of different alliances were formed previously. And the new, again, is a group of 7, so they haven't had the time to split off and figure out their proper alliances yet. But it looks as though it's a group of 7, and I predict that it will be an American versus Australia and Australia versus America switch on each tribe. To the reward challenge, where the American-dominated tribe wins, slip, slide, and score. So they win reward, they win a picnic back at camp. And the immunity, Australian-dominated tribe wins. So this is where we see if the alliances take place. So I predict the American tribe is going to tribal council, and therefore an Australian member will be removed from the game. Let's see. So Todd and Rob are having a fight though. So again, Todd's stirring up trouble. Rob's fighting everyone. He was fighting with Sophie before. He's fighting with Todd now. I don't know what's going on here, but Rob's getting in fights. Todd's annoying everyone. More people are fighting. But again, it's surprising to see, given they are too original in the American tribe. Move to the Australian tribe. Tony obviously has the idol. No one has found the Australian tribe idol. Wait, Jericho has found it. So Jericho and Tony both have idols on this tribe. So two idols in play with Mo and Brooke losing their idols at the previous tribal council. And Jericho has now found the second idol in the game. So tribal council. So this one, again, is dominated by Americans. Chris, Rob, Earl, and Todd. But Todd's just annoying everyone. So first vote's going to Todd, then Brooke, Todd, Todd. 5 votes to Todd, 2 votes to Brooke. 5 votes to Todd, 2 votes to Brooke. So maybe that bond between Brooke and Earl, where they shared the idol, got Mo and her idol out of the game. Maybe that has carried over to this particular tribe. Let's see how they voted. So Brooke votes for Todd. Did Earl voted for Brooke? I'm completely off on that one again. So the ones on the outs were Earl and Todd. Very interesting. So the Americans have joined forces with the Australians to take Todd Herzog out of the game. Wow. So there is that speculation that the tribes would stick together with their original country, but no, that is not the case within this episode with Todd Herzog being voted out. Crazy. Move on to episode 8. It's now a 6 versus 7 with Brooke, Chris, Earl, Pia, Rob, and Shawnee. So now it is a 3-3 split between the Australian and Americans, but that is out the window with Todd being voted out of that tribal, and then the Australian tribe sticking strong, not having to go to tribal council. But we are going to merge. They are merging. Tribe unity has come together. So this is very interesting. So we have Brooke, David, Harry, Jericho, Luke, Pia, and Shawnee. So they have a 7-6 advantage. The Australians have a 7-6 advantage over Chris, Suri, Earl, Vesepia, Tony, and Rob. So 7-6 advantage to the Australians by the time merge hits. And let's see the alliances. So American tribe, so Earl and Todd are back together. So they have a very strong alliance of 7. They're back together in this game. So this is a lower alliance level, but there is still an alliance between Chris, Rob, and Vesepia. And then this 5 is back together with Harry, Jericho, Luke, Pia, and Shawnee. But again, it is still that low level. And then the American tribe, we have Rob, Tony, and Vesepia, Chris and Suri. And it would have been great to see David squeeze into this with the bond as well. So as we can see, all the alliances up until this point are original divisions. So all Americans, all Australians. And then this alliance of 6, again, all Americans here. And this is the original Australian alliance as well. So all 7 versus 6. So there's a lot of different alliances, a lot of crossovers, and it is very interesting to see how this will play out moving forward. So looks like the strongest alliance is Earl and Tony. Chris and Suri actually outweighs them. And then this tribe of 4 outweighs them. So look for these guys to make some plays together. So David, Harry, Luke, and Shawnee as a 4, as well as Chris and Suri as a 2, and then Tony and Earl as a 2. So they're the strongest alliances at this point in the game. So the immunity challenge, hard to handle. The castaways must stand on an angled balance beam while balancing a ball. And Jericho would absolutely dominate at a challenge like this. He is a little nimble endurance monster. He's not only a cookie monster, he's an endurance monster, and he wins immunity to go along with his idol. So let's see if anyone's found the merge idol. No one has found the Unity tribe idol yet. And Jericho and Vesepia are having a little minor disagreement. So Jericho didn't give Vesepia enough cookies. She only got 4 when she wanted 5. And they're just having a little fight over that. So Jericho's got that Australian idol. Tony has the American idol. And no one has found the merge idol at this point in time. So we're going to tribal. So there is 13 left in the game. 7 Australians. 6 Americans. This is going to put the line in the sand moving forward. So did anyone play their idol? No one has played their idol at this tribal council. Brooke? Brooke's still in the firing line. So Brooke, I think, is a challenge beast. So she, I think, is the best Australian challenge competitor ever, and it is understandable that she's targeted consistently, given how strong she is at this point in the game. So she has 4 votes. Suri has 2. She has 6. Suri has 4. 7. 9 votes to Brooke. 4 votes to Suri. What are the Australians doing? You have the numbers. 7-6. You could have taken out a beast in this game, but instead they turned on themselves and they took Brooke out. Brooke's proving to be too big of a threat. Her name is getting thrown out at every single tribal council. She did isolate herself earlier in the game, which is looking like it may be playing a role in this moving forward. But man, the Australians, they had this game. They had this game on lock and they just threw it out the window. The Americans are going to take over. You can count on it. I can just see it happening already. Let's see who voted where. So, who voted for Suri? So, Brooke, Earl. So, Earl is back with Brooke now, which is interesting. Jericho and Tony. Wow. Okay, so that makes sense because Earl and Tony are super tight. So, Earl came back to Brooke in terms of getting rid of Suri, but it didn't work in their favour. And then Jericho as well stuck strong with Brooke to try and get rid of Suri, but no. Brooke, you are out of the game. I believe you're probably the first member of the jury as well. So proceed to the next episode. We now have 12 left in the game. And it's a 6 versus 6 split now. But I can see the Americans taking over. So again, really strong alliance between Tony and Earl. Still a really strong alliance between Chris and Suri. And still a hugely strong alliance between these 4 Australians. So why these 4 didn't bring in the other 3 Australians, they could have wiped out the Americans. These 4, those 3, final 7, knock off those 3. They're the final 4, and bada bing, bada boom, Australian has won the game. But not today. They turned on Brooke, and now they put themselves in a very difficult situation. Okay, so the alliances don't look to have changed too much, with those still 3 major alliances being the predominant loyalty ones at this point in time. So we go to the reward challenge: boats, brains, and brawn, where Pia, Earl, Rob, Jericho, Shonny, and David have 1 reward to a cafe on a tuk-tuk. So I don't know who's going to be Keith in this one. Maybe Rob Sestinino starts up the tuk-tuk and starts driving these people around. But there is no Keith, which is unfortunate. Maybe Keith actually started up his own tuk-tuk business at Cambodia, you call we haul, and he's going to be driving these people around at that reward. That would actually be so phenomenal if that was a reward challenge in the future. Keith comes out of nowhere and just starts driving around the castaways on his tuk-tuk business. But they have 1 reward. They have won a nice meal and a nice trip away from camp at the Survivor Cafe. Now the immunity, the real deal. Vecepia has won Take the Reins. The castaways are to pull on 2 ropes linked to a platform where balls will be placed. The objective is to keep the balls platform. Every 10 minutes, a castaway is handed and moved down the next notch to make it much trickier. And then once the last person drops their ball or balls, they win the challenge. So Vesepia's taken this one out, with Jericho winning the first merge immunity challenge and Vecepia winning the second individual immunity challenge. So let's see if anyone has found the merge idol. Jericho has the tribe idol. Tony has the other one. No one found an idol this round. And Tony and Shonny are getting stuck into it. This would be a very interesting fight. So maybe Tony's speaking some llama to Shonny. Shonny doesn't understand. She's a social powerhouse. She's just like, speak English to me, Tony. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't speak that language of llama that you're speaking. But they just have a major fight. English to llama, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we'll see how that shapes out at the tribal council. But Tony was in the minority at the previous tribal, and Shonny, I believe, did vote for Brooke. So let's see if they try and take Tony out of this game. He has an idol. Will he play it? He probably will if he is in the minority, but let's see if that plays out. So again, Tony has the idol. Castaways all vote. Tony does not play his idol. Jericho does not play an idol. As I suspected, Tony has a vote. Suri. Wow. 10 votes Suri, 2 votes Tony. I have no idea what's going on. I thought the Americans were going to come They were going to steamroll. They were going to take out all the Australians, but no. Some reason they've turned on each other. So 10 votes to Sari, 2 votes to Tony. So I presume the other vote for Tony was Chris Doherty, based on that really strong alliance between Sari and Chris. Yep. So Chris and Sari vote for Tony. Everyone else votes for Sari to get her out of the game. I mean, this is probably the time to get Sari out. She could be a dark horse to win this one. She always finds a way to get deep in the game and always gets screwed at the end. So it is actually good to get to see Sari get voted out properly for once in a while. But Tony is still in the game. Tony still has an idol. Jericho still has an idol. I have no idea what the alliances are. They keep chopping and changing every single episode. So let's proceed to the next one and see what happens. So there is 11 left in the game. Back to 6 Australians and 5 Americans. So are these alliances going to change at all? So Tony and Earl are still tight. These guys still have a low alliance at 3. These have a low alliance at 3. 4, 4, 4. Okay, so Chris. Okay, this could be the alliance now. So Chris has joined with Earl and Tony. Because Earl and Tony are tight. So if Chris has joined that alliance, because he is now a free agent after losing his tightest alliance member in Sari. So here we go. Chris and Earl. Okay, so Earl, Jericho, Pia. But again, there's no real super strong alliances other than the Awesome Foursome and these two here. So expect Earl and Tony to stay tight, and expect David, Harry, Luke, and Shonny to stay tight as well. But otherwise, it seems like it is a bit up in the air with a lot of low loyalty numbers within each of these alliances. So if we go to the reward challenge, it's called Sticks, where David, Harry, Jericho, Rob, and Pia win reward, and they get to go to a Survivor Spa. Ooh la la! Proceed to the Immunity Challenge, Bermuda Triangles, where Pia wins an advantage. So she did what Spencer and Stephen done. She jumped off. She's able to steal someone's vote up until the final 5. So that is huge. But in saying that, it's what put a target on Stephen in this season is he obtained the advantage in front of everyone, as did Pia. So Pia could be a target from now on. I don't know if anyone knows that Tony and Jericho have the idols, but they know Pia has this advantage. So we'll see if that affects her later on, but she does have an advantage to steal a vote up until the final 5, with David Gennett winning immunity and staying in the game. The Golden God is still up to this stage of the game. If this was a real season and we still had the Golden God and Tony Vlachos, oh my goodness, that would be phenomenal. David's my favourite Australian player and Tony's my favourite US player. So to see them come this far, oh my god, that would be crazy. Still no one has found this idol. There are so many idol hunters, but no one's found it. It must be hidden in the middle of a tree that you have to chainsaw down or something. So Jericho and Tony still have the 2 idols, and Rob is rubbing the try. What are you doing, Sestonino? Firstly, you're fighting with Sophie. Then you're fighting with Todd. Now you're rubbing everyone else the wrong way. What are you doing? This is unheard of, Rob. You know this game. You know it inside and out. Stop annoying your cast members, all right? Unbelievable. All right, we're going to tribal council. So Pia has used her steal a vote straight away. So this is actually interesting, and it's probably a good play, given that everyone knows that she has this advantage or an advantage in the game. It's good to just use it, get the target off your back early. But stealing Shonny's vote, again, 2 Australians combating each other. So Tony has the idol, no idols are played. So Harry, out of nowhere, gets a vote. Vesepia gets a vote. Harry, Vesepia, Harry, Vesepia, Harry. So 7 votes to Harry, 4 votes to Vesepia. So that must mean that Harry, but Shonny's vote was stolen as well. So I thought the 4 votes to Vesepia would have been Harry, Shonny, Dave, and Luke. But let's have a look, because that vote was taken. Where's Pia? So Pia votes for Vesepia, Shonny votes for Harry. So did it say Pia stole Shonny's vote? Pia stole Shonny's vote and then voted for 2 different people? Maybe I read that incorrectly, but either way, Harry is out of the game. That seems a little strange, but she did use her vote, and Harry is now eliminated from the game. So it did look like that was the case with David voting for Vesepia. Harry voting for Vecepia, Luke voting for Vecepia, and Pia voting for Vecepia, potentially with Shani's vote. Who really knows? But her Steele vote is out of the game, and Harry is also out of the game, also becoming a member of the jury. So now we have 10 left, the final 10, with Chris, Earl, Vecepia, Tony, and Rob versus David, Jericho, Luke, Shani, and Pia. So still 5 versus 5, Australian versus American. It's coming down to the wire. Which country will take it over? Okay, so we're getting to that alliance. Earl and Tony still going strong. This 3 without Harry is still as tight as ever. And again, everyone else is just low men on the totem pole. So there's a lot of room for flexibility. Earl and Tony ain't turning on each other, and these 4, the 4 aren't going to turn on each other either. Oh, sorry, the 3 of David, Luke, and Shani, with the 4th member of Harry being eliminated. So these 3 are tight. Tony and Earl are tight. Everyone else is up in the air. Okay, so basket brawl for reward. So Luke, Tony, David, Earl, and Vecepia, they get to go to a Cambodian circus. Ooh, that's fun. Okay, the immunity challenge. So 5 or more castaways choose to sit out. They give up their shot at immunity, but they get their new shelter built. So the weather is still extreme, as per Survivor Second Chance, where they got that shelter built. So sit outs. 5 people did end up sitting out, with David, Earl, Luke, Tony, and Vecepia all feeling very comfortable sitting out the challenge, which means the tribe gets a new shelter, with only 5 other people competing. So it's not just Joe versus Keith, it is Chris, Jericho, Pia, Rob, and Shani competing in this immunity challenge, with Shani winning immunity. Yeah, Shani. So that's a heap of fun. Shani is great, and she's actually a dark horse in challenges as well. People underestimated her, but she got to win a couple of immunities in that Survivor All-Star season. So love to see it. Love to see Shani win, and they get a new shelter in the process. So let's see. Has anyone found this idol yet? Tony, no one's found it. This is crazy. Australian tribe at Ostamerica tribe dissolves. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So still the only 2 idols, and the Australians are starting to dissolve. So it's 5 versus 5 in numbers, Australia versus America, but it's looking like it's not going to be pretty moving forward. Tribal Council is still 10 people left in the game. Tony and Jericho don't play their idols. Rob, who is being a little rascal in this season, is starting to get, maybe not. He is. He is 7 votes to Rob, 3 votes to Vecepia. So even though that Australian alliance is dissipating, Rob is still the 9th person voted out of the game. Tribe has spoken, and let's see how everyone voted. So Earl, again on the wrong side of the numbers. Rob and Tony, I'm guessing? Yep. So Earl and Tony, they've been voting incorrectly this whole time, but they're still managing to find a way through. So seeing Rob Cesternino go is it's going to be bad for TV, as he is just stirring up trouble left, right, and centre. He is a little troublemaker, and for that reason, he's voted out of the game, and there is only, I believe, 9 people left. And again, it goes back to 5 Australians and 4 Americans left in the game. Huge strength here. Huge strength here. Okay, so but based on the votes, Tony and Earl are on the outside, and then the other 7 are together. But based on the loyalty counters, within that 7, it's just these 3, and it's still just these 2. So the other 4 votes are really up for grabs. David wins reward called Folklore, the old Stephen and his big floppy feet reward, and he shares it with Shani and Pia. Yep, so no major surprises there. He does share it with one of his really close alliance members in Shani, and he brings Pia along as well. Proceed to the immunity challenge, where Tony, the immunity beast, wins the game as a foot. Using only their feet, they must build that tower out of the puzzle pieces and put the flag in the middle. So Tony's first to do so. He wins immunity along with his idol. So it'll be interesting to see here, because Tony and Earl are on the outside. So If Tony has immunity, will he play his idol for Earl to keep him in the game? Jericho's got the idol. Tony has the Shawnee. So Shawnee. Okay. Oh no. Shawnee and Luke have a major fight, and they were really tight. So we'll see if that affects their alliance's loyalty, if they're still together in this next episode. But there are now 3 idols in the game, so it's really heating up at this point in time. We get to Tribal Council. There's 9 people left in the game. There's 3 idols in play, and Shawnee has played the idol she's just found. So she is safe. So Shawnee and Tony are safe. Wow, maybe she was right. Does not count, does not count, does not count, does not count, does not count. Vecepia. Wow. Vecepia. I'm really interested to see how each castaway voted here. So David, Chris, Luke, Shawnee. Again, Tony, Earl, outside. They're not voting the right way. It's a great play by Shawnee playing that idol. I don't know how Tony and Earl went from being the bottom 2 to getting in the majority of numbers, but still voting incorrectly with Shawnee playing her idol. And she's safe in the game, and Vecepia has been voted out. So we're really getting down to the end of this now with only 8 players left in Chris, David, Earl, Jericho, Luke, Pia, Shawnee, and Tony. This is an insane final 8. This is actually a crazy final 8. There is 5 Australians and 3 Americans left in the game. Team Australia, I mean, the Americans that they've left, they've got Chris, Earl, and Tony. Just let that sink in. These three together could do major damage. But David was the king in Australian All-Stars, where he just locked his alliance together, and he had the power for the remainder of the game. So this is still an alliance. Okay, so even though they had that fight, they still have a high loyalty of 9, with Earl and Tony still with that loyalty of 7. Let's go to the reward challenge, with Chris winning reward, and he shares it with Pia, Jericho, Tony, and Shawnee, and they have a barbecue with their loved ones. So the people on the outside of this reward may be a little upset, but we'll go to the immunity challenge, and Chris and Pia win immunity. So there's this one where the last man and last woman standing win immunity. So there are limited people to be voted for at this next tribal. Chris has immunity. Pia has immunity. Jericho has an idol. Tony has an idol. Oh. Jericho and Luke bond a lot. No surprises there. They've been bonding ever since they laid eyes on one another. Jericho has the Australian tribe idol. Tony has the American tribe idol. 2 people have immunity as well. Let's go to Tribal Council. Tony has the idol, doesn't play it. Jericho does not play his. I think it could be because Shawnee was the one that was going to go at the previous tribal. Wow, 5 votes Shawnee, 3 votes David. Even though their alliance loyalty was 9, they both turned on each other. This is crazy scenes. See how each castaway voted. So, did the 3 lone Americans get back in the mix? So no, Earl and Chris have voted separately, and I presume Earl and Tony voted together to get Shawnee out. Okay, so who's on the outside now? So Shawnee's gone. Luke voted for David again. Weird, even though they were super aligned together, and they're boys. They're boys, man. And then Chris as well. So Luke and Chris seem to be on the outs. With only 7 left in the game, we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty of this season. Nearly up to the finale, last episode before the finale. Put down in the comments at this point in time who you think's going to win this game. I mean, I have absolutely no idea. It's been alliances breaking every single episode, rejoining, Australian America joining forces, Australian America butting heads. Who knows what will happen? So the alliances at this point in time are basically redundant. They mean nothing. Everything and everything is changing each and every episode. So let's get to the first reward challenge of pole dancing, where Pia wins. They're attached to a rope and they have to unspool from a wooden structure. So Pia has won it after throwing sandbags to knock over a series of blocks, and she shares this reward with Earl and Luke Toki. So they get to go to the temples of Siam Reap, which I featured in my previous favourite cultural awards video. I recommend checking that out as well. They proceed to the immunity challenge, where Tony has won immunity again. Wow. If Tony wins this season, third win, that would be crazy. So Tony has won immunity again, and he's got an idol. Wow, so Tony's guaranteed to be in the finale. This is nuts. Tribe events. There is no idol hidden. Yep, fair enough. New alliance dissolves. Okay, so Jericho and Pia and Earl, their alliance has dissolved. So Earl was with Tony. And let's see who votes where. So David got a few votes at the last tribal council. Jericho has played his idol. Jericho's played his idol. Jericho has played his idol. So Jericho's locked in the finale. Tony's locked in the finale. So it's whoever's face we see that isn't Jericho's will be going home. 1 vote Jericho, 2 votes Jericho, 3 votes Jericho, 4 votes Jericho. David, yep. So David, the Golden God. You hate to see it. Oh man, I would have loved to seen David and Tony in that final tribal council, butting heads to see who is the greatest international player of all time. But that is not meant to be, with David going home at this tribal council. So Chris voted for Jericho, David voted for Jericho, and Earl voted for Jericho. And Tony voted for Jericho. Okay, so Jericho's safe. So Jericho, Luke, and Pia look to be a 3, with Tony, Earl, and Chris as a 3. No way. So we're down to the finale. 3 Australians, 3 Americans. Based on the previous tribal council, it actually looks like that could be the case, with Chris, Earl, and Tony being an alliance, and Luke, Jericho, and Pia all being in an alliance together. This is coming down to the wire. So part 1 of the finale. Again, these two are tight. We got the 3 Australians together. We've got the 3 Americans together. And there's a couple of other little alliances, but I really think it's going to be that 3 versus 3. Tony has won it again. Oh my god, Tony's actually going to win. He's going to win. There's no way. It's Kagayan all over again. I'm like, making this season thinking Tony's probably going to be one of the first ones targeted, and bam, he gets all the way. He's winning immunities. He's still got his idol from the very first episode. This is nuts. Tribe events. So Tony's got that idol. No. Tony and Earl. No, hang on. So that loyalty's still 7. So America Tribe Alliance 1 dissolves. So are they saying this alliance is dissolving with that loyalty of 7? I just don't see it happening. They've been together the whole game. They've been together the whole game. Let's see if that is the case at this tribal. So Tony has not played the idol. He's got immunity. He's chilling in that final 5. So he's guaranteed to make the final 4. Guaranteed Tony Vlachos to make the final 4 in this international season. And you've got to think if he gets to the end, he's going to win. With those immunity wins, got the idol. He has been on the wrong side of the vote a few times, but man, oh man, he's in a great shot. So Chris, Jericho, 3-2. Chris, so 3 versus 3 as expected. 3 versus 3 as expected. Jericho, Chris, Jericho. Oh, someone flipped. What? Oh, they could have gone to rocks. The Australians are done. I presume the Australians are done here. So Chris, Earl. No. Tony voted for Chris with Jericho and Luke. So when they said that alliance dissolved, it was true. Then Tony flips back to that alliance and takes out Jericho. This is tough to follow. This is really tough to follow. So there was somehow Chris, Earl, and Pia came together. Chris, Earl, and Pia, but Tony flips his vote after the revote, and Jericho is out of the game, which means there is 3 Americans and 2 Australians left. Luke and Pia, you could be in trouble here, but hard to tell. So that alliance is actually dissolved. The Tony Earl alliance. I mean, there's original tribe here, but it's low. But the Tony Earl alliance, where it was loyalty 7, is no longer here. So there's Tony with Luke. There is a small. All of these alliances are really low loyalty. So anything could happen, but we have to remember that this is America versus Australia as a season. So it is highly likely that Tony, Chris, and Earl will stick together, but anything can happen, as we can see. You are kidding me. He has done it again. Oh my god, he's actually going to win this game. So Tony has won another immunity challenge. I think he's won 4, at least. Still got his idol. I think it has to be played at this tribal as well. So Tony's still got the idol. Luke has isolated himself and no one wants to align with him. Oh dear. Tony's probably going to keep that idol as a souvenir. So he played it on Luke. He played it on Luke. Is this another attempt to attract the votes to Luke? No one wants to align with him, yet Tony's played his idol on him. Luke does not count, does not count, does not count. Pia is gone. Wow. Wow. Tony has saved Luke, and Pia is the second last member of the jury. Again, with the 3 Americans still staying strong. Wow. So, Tony voted for Pia. Luke voted for Pia. Tony is causing chaos. I think because he's been on the wrong side of the numbers a little bit. Maybe he's making a couple of fancy moves at the end of the game to attract the votes of the jury. And I promise you, all the Australian members of the jury respect game. They do. Proceed to next episode. Wow. So this is the final 4. Chris Doherty, Earl Cole, Luke Toki, and Tony Larkos. Not going to lie, this is an incredible final 4. This is an absolutely incredible final 4. Wow. Luke and Tony together, that would be... Luke, Tony, and Chris, honestly, I mean, I love Earl. He is one of my favourite players in terms of game sense. But from a character sense, Luke as a character is up there with David in Australia, if not better. He is phenomenal TV. Absolutely hilarious person. Tony's obviously amazing. Chris is this is a fantastic Final 4. If this season happened and this was the Final 4, I think everyone would be stoked. So the alliances. So Chris, Earl, and Tony. Yep. There we go. So Luke's not even in here. So maybe Tony... Oh, that could have been why Tony played his idol on Luke. In order for when it got down to the Final 4, they had a clear-cut target. But this might go to fire. This should go to fire. So Chris has won the immunity. So Chris is in the final 3. Chris is in the final 3. No significant events. All cast... Okay, so there's no fire in this simulation. So first vote Tony. Second vote Earl. Luke. So they split it 2-1-1. 2-1-1. So there are 3 Americans in the final. Chris voted for Tony. Tony voted for Luke. So Tony might have saved himself in saving Luke. So Luke felt obliged not to vote for Tony and voted for Earl. If he voted for Tony, Tony would be the one voted out of this game. Instead, Chris voted for Tony as he thought he was the biggest threat. Earl votes for Luke. Tony votes for Luke. We have an all-American final tribal council. Chris versus Earl versus Tony Vlachos in the International Survivor Simulator, Australia versus America. America has already come out on top, with them all being in the final 3. 3 previous winners have made the final tribal. 3 previous winners have a chance to win this international version of Survivor. They might get US dollars, they might get Australian dollars, who the hell knows? But let's see what happens at the reunion. Who is going to win this all-international season? I mean, my money's on Tony. He's won a lot of immunities. He's played the idol. He's made a couple of big moves. Let's have a look. Who is going to win? there's a tie. 4-4-2 tie for the winner. Tony wins due to the votes for Chris changing. How does this actually work? So Tony's won. Firstly, Tony has won Survivor International. He's done it somehow. Can you actually believe this? If this was a season and Tony has won the game for a third time, this automatically would be the best season of all time, right? If Tony wins a third time, with all that chaos, alliances changing every single episode, Australia versus America, my dream cast has not disappointed, with Tony taking it out of this Survivor International. Now, there was a tie. That is crazy. So what happened here? So is it everyone who voted for Chris? So there were Luke votes for Earl, Pia votes for Earl, David voted for Earl, and Brooke. So I'm guessing that Sari and Jericho had to re-vote, and then they flipped their votes to Tony because Chris wasn't eligible. But that's crazy. Tony has won it. Who is the fan favorite? Harry! Harry, you cheeky rascal, is the fan favorite. Well done, mate. Congratulations on being the fan favorite. Congratulations to Tony Vlachos. Let's see the statistics. Tony has won the game with 4 votes. Earl tied him, similar to Wendell and Dom, but in a slightly different situation with Chris. Maybe Chris had to vote as well in order to determine a winner. Maybe those 2 votes that Sari and Jericho had, they might have split it 1-1 for Tony and Earl, and then Chris had to place that final vote. So absolutely crazy. So Tony is the winner of this Australia versus America season. This has been a lot of fun. I think I'm going to be doing more of these simulations in the future. Please let me know if you enjoyed this. Please let me know of any casts that you'd like me to simulate. Leave them down in the comments and I'll make sure to do another one of these in the future. Let's just check out the summary quickly. So this is just the votes of each particular episode and then to other statistics. So Tony did win 4 individual immunities. That's crazy. Sari got 17 votes. That's more than her previous 4 seasons combined, I think. That's nuts. But yeah, this was a heap of fun. Australia versus America. Tony Vlachos, the winner of this international Survivor simulation. Again, this was a bunch of fun to be a part of. Please let me know if you enjoyed it down in the comments. Remember to click that subscribe button if you are enjoying this type of content, with more Survivor videos coming in the future. So if you do enjoy this content, I currently am releasing 1 to 2 videos a week. One video is proper editing, proper footage within Survivor seasons. And if you enjoy this, I will do 1 simulation a week in addition to this, but I need you to type that down in the comments for that to happen. So I really appreciate everyone watching. Again, remember to subscribe if you are enjoying the content. This is Analytical Strategy, and we are signing out once again. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.